You know, there's something about body language that just doesn't lie. I don't care how smooth a man is with his words. His body is always going to tell the truth. Always. See, when a man is genuinely into you, he may not say it right away, he may not even be aware of it himself, but his body will betray him every single time. He won't even realize he's doing it. That's the beauty of it. And that's why, ladies, I want you to stop overthinking what he says and start watching what he does, especially with his body. Now imagine this. You're talking to a guy. Maybe you've known him for a while, or maybe you just met. You're laughing, vibing a little, and you look up and he's staring. Not just a casual glance. I'm talking about that steady eye contact, that deep kind of look like he's tuned in, like you're the only person in the room. That's not accidental. A man doesn't hold eye contact like that unless he's interested. Most men don't even realize they're doing it. They're just caught up in the moment, and their eyes stay where their heart wants to be on you, and it's not just the eyes. Watch his posture, watch how he orients his body. A man who's into you will turn his entire body toward you, even his feet, his shoulders, his knees, his torso. All of it aims in your direction like he's got no place else to be. He's leaning in, closing the gap. That's him trying to be closer to you without having to say it. That lean in. That's desire without words. You ever notice how sometimes a man will mirror your movements, like you touch your hair and a second later he's adjusting his shirt? You cross your legs and then he shifts too. That's not random. That's subconscious mimicry. It's the body's way of saying I'm with you, without making it obvious. It's alignment, it's attraction, and he probably doesn't even know he's doing it. But you should. And don't miss the little things. When a man finds reasons to touch you, but not in a pushy or disrespectful way, like brushing something off your sleeve, a light touch on your back as you walk through a door, a quick playful nudge during a joke, that's physical flirtation. It's his way of creating closeness and testing the waters to see if the energy is mutual. Those soft touches carry more meaning than you might think. And believe me, men don't go around doing that with just anybody. If he's finding reasons to bridge that physical space, even just slightly, he's trying to connect on a deeper level. Now here's something else. Watch his facial expressions. Is he smiling a lot around you? Does he light up when you enter the room? Those aren't just signs of friendliness. When a man is into you, his face tells on him. You can see it in the way he looks at you, the way he listens, the way he responds even when you say something small. He's invested, emotionally present, and when a man is emotionally present with you, that's no small thing. That means his interest isn't casual. There's also a protective instinct that shows up in body language. You're walking near traffic, and he moves to the outside. You're in a crowded room, and he places himself slightly in front of you or near your side. That's not just good manners, that's subconscious protection. And when a man starts protecting what he cares about, even without being told, you know it's real. And let me tell you something else. Sometimes a man will get nervous around you, fidgeting, rubbing the back of his neck, shifting from foot to foot, laughing a little louder than necessary. Don't take that as a lack of confidence. It's usually the opposite. That's his nerves talking because you matter. That's his body reacting to how much he wants to impress you and how deeply he doesn't want to mess it up. That kind of reaction isn't fake, that's raw, unfiltered interest. So many women get caught up in what a man says, or worse, what he doesn't say. But his body is a walking confession. It's right there in how he looks at you, where he places himself around you, how close he gets, how he leans in, and how he reacts when you touch his world even a little bit. When a man is into you, his actions will always shout what his words whisper. You just have to know how to read the signs. Because love doesn't always walk in and announce itself. Sometimes it leans in a little closer, smiles a little longer, and lingers in the space between words. Let me tell you something real simple. When a man wants to be in your life, he makes sure he in your life. There's no confusion about it, no mixed signals, no games. He'll find ways, little ways, bold ways, even awkward ways. But he's going to show up. Because when a man is into you, he's not going to just sit back and hope something happens. He's going to put himself in your world, one way or another. And most of the time, he doesn't even realize how obvious he's being. You ever notice how that one guy seems to always pop up where you are? You didn't even tell him you'd be at that event, but there he is. Coincidence, maybe once, but twice, 3 times. Nah, that man is calculating quietly. He's paying attention to what you like, what you're into, and he's making a move. Not in a creepy or overly aggressive way, but he's trying to share space with you. He wants proximity. Because to him, closeness feels like a chance to connect, to be seen, to see you in a natural way. He's not waiting for fate to make something happen, he's engineering moments. You just have to catch it. And even if he's not bold enough to come right out and ask for your time, he'll still circle you. He'll start showing interest in the things you talk about. If you mention you love a certain band, he'll casually drop that he listened to them the other day. You talk about yoga on Saturdays, suddenly he's asking what gym you go to, or acting like he's been thinking about getting into it himself. These aren't random, these are signals. He's customizing his life to blend into yours. That's his form of flirting. It's not loud, but it's persistent. See, men aren't always great at expressing emotion with words, but action. Action is where the truth lives. So if he's trying to find reasons to be near you, take interest in your world, or somehow make you laugh every time you're around, he's not just being friendly. He's testing the water, seeing how you react, and let me tell you, that effort is intentional, because men don't invest time where they see no return. If he's choosing to be in your atmosphere again and again, it means something. And watch what happens when you're in a group setting. Everyone's mingling, people are talking, but where's he? Somewhere not too far from you, always drifting in your direction. Starting conversations, asking how your day was, offering to get you a drink, or making sure you're comfortable. He may play it cool, act like it's casual, but his focus keeps coming back to you like a compass. That's presence. That's interest disguised as attentiveness. Sometimes he'll even go out of his way to be useful. You say something's broken. He's suddenly offering to fix it. You need help with something. He's already there. It's not just about being helpful. It's about being needed. A man wants to feel valuable to the woman he's into. It's instinct. So when he starts inserting himself in small helpful ways, even if he pretends it's no big deal, understand this. He's trying to create a role in your life. And he's hoping you'll notice it. And you know what else? He starts asking questions, not the surface level stuff, but things that show he's actually listening. What are your dreams? What's your favorite movie? What's something people misunderstand about you? That ain't small talk. That's him studying. That's him digging deeper, trying to get to the heart of who you are. Because when a man's really into you, he doesn't just want to be around you. He wants to know you. Know how you think, what moves you, what you love and what you hate. That's not casual, that's intentional intimacy in the making. And don't underestimate consistency. That man who checks in regularly, the one who never lets too much time pass without some kind of touch point, he's not just being nice. That's his way of staying on your radar. That's him reminding you he's there. He may not say everything he's feeling, but he's going to make sure you feel his presence. And if he's doing all of this, showing up in places, sliding into conversations, finding ways to share life with you, that's his heart showing up before his mouth does. Because when a man is into you, his presence becomes a pattern, not an accident. Let me break this down for you. When a man is really into you, there's a shift in how he treats you compared to how he treats everybody else. You start to feel it, even if you can't explain it right away. It's in the little things, those subtle differences in how he talks to you, how he listens, how he remembers. He may not shout it from the rooftops, but his behavior starts to single you out. That's what I mean by special attention. And trust me, that's not something men can fake, not for long anyway. See, when a man is feeling you, you'll start noticing how tuned in he is. Like when you're talking, he's not just nodding along or scrolling his phone, he's locked in. Eyes on you, attention fully yours, like everything else just fades out for a minute. That's not just respect, that's investment. He wants to hear you, not just because he's being polite, but because he genuinely cares what you have to say. And when a man listens like that, really listens, you start to notice he remembers the things you thought he'd forget. You might mention your mom's birthday is coming up, or how you had a rough day at work. Days later, he brings it up, asks how your mom's doing, or if your boss finally gave you a break. That kind of recall, that's not just good memory, that's interest. That means what you say matters to him. It stayed with him. And for a man, especially one who's not usually all emotional, that's a big sign he's not just watching you, he's watching * for you. Now let's talk about how he behaves when you're around other people. You could be in a room full of folks, laughing, talking, having a good time, but he's still tuned into you. You ever notice that? It's like no matter where he's standing, you catch him checking for your reaction. You tell a story, and his eyes are already on you, like he's waiting for the punchline before anyone else gets it. He wants to see you laugh, wants to see you light up. That's attention, and more than that, that's a man who's emotionally invested in your presence. And it's not about big romantic gestures all the time. No, it's in the small, consistent ways he's showing up for you. Maybe he sends you that random good morning text, not out of routine, but because you were the first person he thought of. Maybe he brings you your favorite snack just because you mentioned once how much you loved it. Or maybe he checks in when he knows you've got something important going on, not because you asked him to, but because he wants to know how it went. That's not ordinary. That's not what men do for just anyone. That's focused, quiet affection, and you can really see it in how he talks to you. There's more care in his words, more encouragement. He starts affirming you, telling you you're smart, funny, beautiful in ways that don't always sound rehearsed. It's like he's discovering things about you and can't help but say it out loud, and he's not trying to flatter you for the sake of it. He genuinely sees those things in you and wants you to see them too. Here's the thing, a man who's not that into you, he'll be inconsistent, hot one day, cold the next, but when he's giving you that special attention, that focus doesn't fade. He makes time for you even when he doesn't have much of it. He checks in, he follows up. And not because you're chasing him for it, but because he wants to make sure you know he's thinking about you. And listen, a man can be surrounded by people, friends, co-workers, whoever, but if he's into you, his behavior changes when you walk into the room. His energy shifts, his face changes. You become the anchor in the space, the one person he naturally gravitates toward. And it might not be loud or flashy, but it's consistent and it's real. So, if you're seeing a man show up with that kind of presence, that kind of care, that kind of focused attention, that you don't see him give to anybody else. Pay attention. Because that's not casual, that's not just being nice, that's him showing you without saying too much that you matter more than most. And when a man starts moving like that, you're not just someone he likes, you're someone he's already chosen. Let me tell you something a lot of women don't realize. When a man is truly into you, he starts acting a little off. Not in a bad way, not in a disrespectful or shady way, but in a way that shows he's not as cool and collected as he wants you to think. That smooth, confident persona he usually walks around with, it starts to crack. You'll catch him stumbling over his words, fidgeting with his hands, laughing at things that aren't even that funny. Why? Because his feelings are real, and real feelings make people nervous, especially men. See, men are wired to keep their emotions under control. We've been trained to keep things calm, stay in charge, keep our game face on. But when a man catches real feelings, when he's sitting across from someone he genuinely likes, someone who actually has the power to affect his heart, that control starts to fade. You start seeing the cracks in the armor, and it shows up in the nervous little habits that he just can't hide. Maybe his legs bouncing under the table. Maybe he's fixing his shirt or running his hand through his hair a few more times than usual. He might even be trying to act all relaxed, but you can see it. He's jittery, a little more energetic than the situation calls for. That's not just restlessness, that's nervous energy. That's his body reacting to the pressure of trying to impress you, of not wanting to mess up what he hopes could be something more. And that's the thing. Men don't get nervous for just anybody. That nervousness, that's respect. That's emotional investment. That's a man thinking, this one here, she matters. So when he starts fumbling a little around you, don't laugh it off or dismiss it. That's not weakness. That's sincerity. That's a peek behind the curtain into how much he cares. And I know what some people might think, but I want someone confident, and I get that. But let me break this down. Confidence isn't about never getting nervous. Real confidence is showing up despite the nerves. Still texting you, still asking you out, still showing up to spend time with you, even if his palms are sweaty or his heart's racing when he does it. That's not insecurity, that's vulnerability, that's real. See, the guy who's truly into you isn't always going to be the slickest talker in the room. Sometimes he's going to trip over his words when he's telling you how good you look. He might plan out what he's going to say in his head, but once he's in front of you, the whole thing comes out sideways. He'll be standing there, trying to sound charming, but his smile is nervous, and he's hoping he doesn't say something dumb. And yet he keeps coming back, keeps trying, because his feelings are louder than his fear. You might even notice he overcompensates a little, laughs harder than the joke called for, talks a little too fast, or maybe he gets quiet, like suddenly shy, withdrawn. That's not him losing interest. That's him getting overwhelmed. That's him trying to manage all these new feelings he hasn't quite figured out how to express. And if you give him a little grace in those moments, you'll start to see the sweetness underneath. You'll start to see that this man who might be awkward or anxious around you is showing you his most genuine self, even if he doesn't mean to. Because, let's be honest, when you're into someone, when you actually care, it's not easy to keep your cool. You worry about saying the wrong thing. You're thinking 10 steps ahead. Does she like me too? Did I say too much? Was that text too soon? That's the mental conversation a man is having with himself the whole time he's trying to play it cool. And that struggle, that internal war between wanting to impress you and being scared to mess it up, that's a good sign. That means you've got his attention in a way that nobody else does. So don't overlook the guy who gets a little nervous around you. Don't write him off because he's not perfectly polished. Sometimes those stumbles, those awkward pauses, those silly grins, they mean more than any smooth line ever could. That's real emotion trying to find its way out. That's a heart that's all in, even if his mouth can't quite catch up. Because when a man's nervous around you, it's not because he's unsure about you asterisk. It's because he's sure about how he feels. And that right there. That's something you can't fake.